tonight etch their name in NFL immortality.
Hold up the ultimate symbol of victory trophy.
The first Super Bowl of a new decade, Super Bowl 54, is underway. This one fielded at the 5. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10 at the 9-yard line. They'll run with a third-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. And now they're scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And let's take a look at the Bears offense.
We often overuse the term heart and soul when we talk about a player being just that for his team, but not in the case of Kyle Long in Chicago. He's shown his ability to be a Pro Bowl guard, a Pro Bowl tackle, but it's his passion for the game, his passion for his teammates that sets the tone for the entire team.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Well, if those at home were wondering if we were going to see some offense in this Super Bowl, I think your answer was right there. Incomplete, but they take a big shot early.
Like the script, if they get the big play early, so much the better.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Credit the sack to Jonathan Hankins.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Here we go on fourth down with Trubisky. And this is going to be a safety as Trubisky gets swallowed up in the end zone. Well, you talk about safety first. Gosh, for such a rare play, kind of unbelievable how many Super Bowls recently have begun with a safety. Charles, you had Tom Brady getting called for grounding against the Giants in Super Bowl 46.
Peyton Manning with the snap over his head in Super Bowl 48.
Yep, and now here's this one. After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. That's pulled in at the 32.
We got this.
Carr and the Raiders come up first and 10 at their 35-yard line. Shotgun now for Carr. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A very solid gain of 27. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. 2 plays, 2 catches. You have a feeling they're going to look for him early and often, and that's to be expected. You got a player of his caliber, why not?
And I think it's also a message from them to the defense that you're not going to dictate to us what we're going to do with one of our better players, because so often you hear about defenses saying we're going to take away what you do best. In this case, they're going to move him around, find proper matchups, and make sure they continue to funnel the ball to him.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. Eluding the pressure right. And that's going to be incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target. And it's second down. Yeah, the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
And all eyes will be on Antonio Brown on the outside, now wearing a uniform other than Pittsburgh's. Donning the black and silver of Oakland. How will he mesh with his new head coach, John Gruden, his new quarterback, Derek Carr? Let's see how things go.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They run it with a rookie from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Raiders add on to their lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Trubisky. And the Raiders have got him. Credit the sack. There to Arden Key. And what in the world? Not sure if he just heard a whistle there or what, but for some reason he spiked the football. On 3rd down, Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Now Trubisky on 1st down. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Trubisky caught out left side by Robinson. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Now Trubisky, and Miller with it over the middle. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. It's a great throw right there, and really showed a lot of confidence in his receiver.
He certainly did. Ball was in the air a long time, but he counted on the adjustment that we saw near the end of the play. As that ball was descending, who was going to come down with it? He counted on his guy, and he gambled correctly.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
When you get your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild play.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Bears draw a bit closer.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is a defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Go.
Throwing again. Carr. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kyle Fuller. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are this one's going the other way.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. Now Trubisky lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up. He's at the 50, the 40, the 20, 10, and he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. And it's no good. He misses the PAT. So file that one away. Could eventually loom large here as the night progresses. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but they're under pressure, and they got to him again. Cleveland Farrell in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a second down coming up. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Jonathan Hankins in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight. Now, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. They'll indeed go for it with Trubisky. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down in the hands of the wrong team.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now after the INT, it's Carr. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. That's going to be caught by Williams for a Raiders touchdown. Tyrell Williams. 34 yards, and the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it, and that's exactly what they did.
And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. He won't go down. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Now Trubisky to throw. Shakes off the sack, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. From his linebacker spot, Vontaze Burfict with a sack.
I don't know what you were seeing on that play, but it felt to me like I wasn't watching a football field. I was watching a boxing ring. But he was bobbing and weaving and trying to make sure he kept the play alive. Just didn't turn out well for him in the end, did it?
Impressive that he stayed in the pocket while avoiding those couple of would-be tacklers, but eventually goes down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. When a
team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. And Nelson's got it here right side. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
From the gun, it's Carr. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Again, they'll throw with Carr. That is caught by Brown. Touchdown, Raiders. From 8 yards out, and the Raiders add on to their lead. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game, probably something they need to do more of here losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best torch, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now it's Trubisky on the right side. This is Miller. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sport. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. The offense stays put. They failed twice already in this first half, but they're going to go a third time. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey, we're good, we're good. 180. Here I come again. 694.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Lets it go for Nelson. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 36 yards on the play.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not give.
That's going to be caught by Williams for a Raiders touchdown. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr, and the Raiders add 6 to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken near the 13. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Trubisky. Now Trubisky lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
And it'll be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, well, get him right back out on the field and play again, right?
Blitz coming, and down he goes. That's sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that did.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. He won't get in, but they are going to have the football in a great spot. First and goal at the 3-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
He'll get only 2 there, and it's second and goal.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end.
And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown, Bears. From a yard out. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The time.
And he takes off with it. It's a fake. And after all that, he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And there's so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. To throw his Carr. Pass incomplete. They were trying to go to Brown once again. That'll bring up second down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow...
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Deion Bush with a pick. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Second and 5 now. Trubisky, throw left side complete. It's Robinson. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Trubisky will throw. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another.
Now Trubisky lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up. The 30. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Onto the field now come the Bears. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
On the carry, it's Davis. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Here's Trubisky to throw. Caught right side, Davis. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was trying to find Anthony Miller there, and it's 3rd and 5.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
And this is going to be intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown his hands and maybe turn to the running game, or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at the 20. They begin with a run by Davis, and they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. The big man, P.J. Hall, had the path to the QB there.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. The Bears on the move. They've got another first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it second down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Bears get a bit closer. See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
First down.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Watch the shit. Hey, check 24. Check 24.
Throwing on first down is Carr. Buying time, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Khalil Mack, his second sack of the night.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out. This is caught inside the 15. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Antonio Brown, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Even though he was forced from the pocket, still able to adjust, make the long throw, and it ends with a really big touchdown.
Yeah, moving to his left. The key to everything when they're moving outside of the pocket, doesn't matter which side, making sure those shoulders get around and you get back square so you can get everything on the throw and create the big play we just saw there downfield.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 18. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Vontaze Burfict able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. Now the second down throw on target. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 61 yards. Throwing here, Trubisky. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Different story this time around. We have that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
And that's his third sack, and that ties a Super Bowl record. Makes me think of my old college teammate, Reggie White. He had 3 with the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 31. Darnell Dockett of Arizona, Super Bowl 43. And Coney Ealy, 3 sacks for the Panthers against Denver in Super Bowl 50.
All those sacks, they've only been an official record since Super Bowl 17. I know it's believed that L.C. Greenwood unofficially had 4 way back in Super Bowl 10.
We're in the
Now Trubisky lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up. He's at the 40, 20, 10. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Here's Trubisky, and he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Mitchell Trubisky with a record 4th Super Bowl touchdown tonight. And the Bears claw 1 back. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he lost the football. And he is not going to make it to the end zone. And that's pretty reflective of their game as a whole, as they'll remain down by a bundle. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
And now here come the Raiders. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Carr going to throw here. And he'll be out right at the 35. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season. They get
pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Clinton Dix making the safety blitz look easy. He zooms in for the sack.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. On 3rd and long, it's Carr.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle.
And nothing but daylight ahead. 30, past the 20. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zeros.
What a way to finish things off. Exactly what you want. Not much time and a touchdown to put things away.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Let's go.
Automatic first down.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10.
Get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here.
One last shot for Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. And the Oakland Raiders are on top of the football world. They will hoist the Lombardi Trophy as the Super Bowl champions. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists a Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.